This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.
Yeah. So here we have got the syllabus that has been given up from the UPSC. First of all, it speaks about the salient features of the Indian society, diversity of India. The word is quite an open end. Anything could be included within the case of salient features. You talk about region, you talk about religion, ethnicities, something is happening in the Nagaland, something is happening in the Andaman Nicobar, whatever is happening in the Kashmir, anything can be included in the part of salient features. So the word is quite an open end. Anything which is happening in India could be turned up and called as a characteristic feature of India, and it can be made as a salient features. But over here, we are trying to understand, we are trying to create up a boundary. Now, what do we have to do is that UPSC is going to give you open-ended statements. We need to create certain boundaries, isn't it? Now, you have heard that particular saying. What is the syllabus of UPSC? Everything under the sun and including the sun. That is called to be. That's absolute nonsense. Everything is not studied under UPSC. You need to know something about everything. So you don't have to get into details. Don't get carried away whenever, especially when you're reading on the smartphone. What does it really leads to? You keep on going somewhere. Whenever you see a blue tick, you go into that link. You see a blue tick, you go into the link. You forget the ultimate purpose, what was exactly you were searching it down. Isn't it? That keeps on happening on the smartphone. You take up a topic, you go from a topic. After 15-20 minutes, you will even forget what was the topic that I was even searching. So make sure that you do a proper search engine usage. So over here, you have got salient features of the Indian society. We will talk about what do we mean by salient features. And then we speak about the diversity of India. What are the different forms of diversity we have? Second, we see that there is something regarding women and what exactly the problems that they're having. What are the women organizations association? We're going to talk about that. So let me read the syllabus, then I'm going to do a breakdown. Role of the women and women organization, population issues, poverty, development, issues of urbanization, their problem and remedies. Okay? So to understand the Indian society, what you have to do, I want to give you a certain task. After that, we'll come and read the syllabus once again. Okay? Now, I give you a task. Has anybody thought you of becoming a pilot ever? Because whenever I ask a school-going kid, you guys are not a school-going kid, but whenever I ask a school-going kid, they are like, I want to be a pilot. Have anybody of you dreamt of being a pilot? Like I was one of them. Until my 8th class, I took the plane so seriously, I always wanted to be a pilot. And if somebody is a little bit more mature, they're like, I don't want to be a pilot, I want to be an astronaut. So anybody who wanted to be a pilot ever? Nobody? Never thought of being a pilot? बचपन से इतने पढ़े लिखे हो तुम लोग कि पता है कि मतलब क्या करना है, ठीक है? कभी सोचा ही नहीं पायलट बनने का? कहाँ जी रहे हो यार? एस्ट्रोनॉट बनने का सोचा था क्या कभी? Ever thought of being an astronaut? Never. What did you want to become? Yo-Yo Honey Singh? हाँ? क्या बनना था बचपन से? हाँ? Only IAS. क्या बोला यार? बचपन के ड्रीम है ये वाले. ठीक है. So one thing what we see is that now you have not thought of being a pilot or an astronaut. Now I give you the task that you be one for at least for the sake of next 5 minutes. Okay? Because I thought of this example when I was traveling and I looked up, there was a whole city that I could create like a vicinity. Now, if you are an astronaut, this would be like a vision that you are going to have regarding the Indian society. Okay? You see a geographical map of India. What are you going to see from the top? Within the case of geography, you're going to see some cities, you're going to see some forest areas, some rivers, you might see Ganga, how it is flowing, etc. That would be one of the views that you're going to get as an aerial view. Another view that if I asked you to describe in a very detailed manner, what are you going to see? First of all, you're going to see, yes, there are some forests which are being there. Apart from those which are not the forest areas, you have got the dry land. Okay? In the dry lands, you either see the people are staying up in the form of villages. Villages are there. I'm taking quite a detailed view. So one are the cities that you are having. That's one way what you can see. Forget about the geographical thing that you see. You see that there is a forest-like areas, and if there are areas not like forest, either the people are staying up in the villages or they are staying up in the cities. That's one. So the Indian society has been divided up in three forms. What we have, the UPSC is not giving this kind of a syllabus, it is mixing the syllabus. But if you want to break it down, these are the three types of societies that has been established within the case of in India. Now the people who are staying up in the forest, they are mostly associated to be as the tribal people. What we have got, although the definition of tribal people does not mean the people who are staying in forest, but on a generalized notion we say the tribal people are staying in forest. So for the sake of understanding, we say we have got the tribal people who are staying up in forest. Next, the people who are staying up in villages or the rural centers, those are the ones who are staying up. And the people, okay, rural centers, the people who are staying up in villages, and the people who are staying up in cities, they are the urban one. Okay, that's one. Okay. So what you need to find out is what are the types of people who are staying up within these segments. Who are the vulnerable people? Understand what do you mean vulnerable people? The people who are having a problematic by staying in those societies, the people who are victimized, the people who are suffering, those. And what are the problems that we have in a general notion, what we get to see. So over here, this is the kind of a three divisions what we are having. Whatever topic that you're going to take up from Indian society UPSC syllabus is either coming up from these three segments itself. So first, you are having a division of people coming up from the forest, people who are there in the village centers, or people who are there in the cities. The people who stay in the forest are the tribal people. The people who are there within the case of villages are the rural, and the ones who are staying in the cities are the urban. That's one. Now, if I ask who are the people who are vulnerable, the ones who are staying up in the rural centers, who are vulnerable? Okay, the agricultural laborers, they could be one. Anything else that you can think of? The people who are coming from backward caste, good. What else? Women, that's one. So who are the people who are victimized within the case of a village are the ones, the agricultural laborers, the bonded laborers, the people who are not having land, the landless laborers. In short, we call them to be as peasants. The people who are having land, they are called as farmers. The one who do not have land, they are called to be as a peasant. A poor farmer is called to be the peasant. So peasant is one. The people who are coming from the backward caste, that is one. And we get to see the women are also one of the vulnerable sections. So we see that one area of trying to understand the segment are the vulnerable people who are having. Now, within the case of cities, who are vulnerable? Okay, the migrants who are coming up, those are the one. Who else? The people who are unemployed, the people who are working under the informal or the unorganized sector, they are the ones. Anybody else you can think of? The people who are vulnerable in the case of cities, the people who are coming up from the different gender. You have got men, women, and then you have got the transgenders, right? Even they are the vulnerable. You have got LGBTQIA. वो बढ़ रहा है. Every year I see that some word is being added into it. Before it was just LGB. Then इस पर T add हुआ है, फिर Q लगा है, फिर I लगा है, फिर A लगा है. तो बढ़ते जा रहा है. पता नहीं मतलब कुछ maybe आज मॉर्निंग तो कुछ नया वर्ड लगा है क्या उसके अंदर. So we get to see even the transgender communities are also one of the vulnerable people within the case of cities. So that's one. Who else? So based upon the most important factor within the case of cities are the people who are lacking in the form of money. So money is the most important criteria when you're staying up within the case of cities, and based on the money you have got the class classifications. So who are the ones at the lower class classification? People who are coming from backward class. When I'm using the word backward class, I'm talking in the aspect of money. Okay, backward caste in the aspect of religion. So backward class people, these are the one. और कौन से होते हैं? You have got the transgenders community, what we have spoken. So we have got some group of vulnerable people here as well. In the case of tribal, you have got a whole list of scheduled tribes who have been there. So this is the one aspect of vulnerability what we have got. And on a general notion in the whole society, we are basically a patriarchal society, a male dominated society, especially in the case of in India. So in a general society where men are the ones who are dominating, who are the vulnerable people when the male gets dominated? We get to see the women are the one who are at the vulnerable position. What else? The child is the one that gets vulnerable, and especially if it's a girl child, that's again a national problem what we are having up. Then we get to see based upon the age also, if a person gets older, if they are being unproductive, especially in the case of a modern society, even age-old people, what we call as geriatric problems, senile problems. So all these are nothing but the ages. So we have got some general problems as well. So we see the first of all is trying to divide the society into three segments. We have got the urban, rural and the tribal. Now in all these societies we have got some set of people who are vulnerable, some set of people are getting victimized, and then there are some general level of problems what we are having up. So look at this, the role of the women and the women's organization. So the problems related to the women is a very important topic that you have, especially in the case of GS1 Indian society. In the case of GS2 we have got which area that deals with the women issues, the governance issues, the social justice what we are having up. So we are trying to understand the role of women and women organization. Population issues, don't you think? Population, इंडिया का population तो कोविड में तो और बढ़ गया यार, मतलब जहाँ देखो मतलब बच्चे ही बच्चे हो रहे हैं, मतलब so people are getting married, kids are coming up. I think there is some percent of increase that has been there. So maternity hospitals are always full. That is done. Population issues, poverty. Yes, poverty breeds population, population breeds poverty. Even that's a one important question that we have got. Developmental issues that we are having up. Urbanization and the problems, don't you think? Urbanization problems. Problem क्या urbanization में? कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अच्छा इतने प्रॉब्लम्स है तो फिर रह रहे क्यों फिर अर्बन सेंटर में? इतने प्रॉब्लम्स लगते हैं अर्बन सेंटर से. पोल्यूशन है, वाटर प्रॉब्लम है, ब्रीथ, आई एम नॉट एबल टू ब्रीथ, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ अर्बन सेंटर इटसेल्फ आर द प्रॉब्लम फॉर ऑल द कोविड एक्सपेंशन, इजंट इट? इतने प्रॉब्लम्स है ना, तो फिर जाओ कहीं जाकर रूरल सेंटर्स में रह जाओ. जाना है नहीं, थिएटर होना है, ठीक है, ईट स्ट्रीट जाना है लेकिन. सो वी गेट टू सी that yes, urbanization leads to a lot of problems, traffic congestion, pollution, whatever, environmental degradation, fine. And though we will be talking about those problems and what are the solutions that we have, the remedies, effects of globalization on the Indian society. Now we are not talking about the problems in centric to India, but India as a whole is creating a certain impact on the global markets. So what exactly is the impact of India on the global markets? What impact is the globalization creating on the Indian society? There is a vice versa relationship, isn't it? The globalization is also creating an impact on the Indian society. So can you give me an example of globalization impact on the Indian society? Chinese good. Chinese goods are coming from long time. Something like a modern thing that you get to see more often. Change in culture. How? अच्छा बिल्कुल सही बात बोले. देखो जहाँ पर देखो what do you, I see many students and many tourists, or especially they go from here to Delhi. They go to Delhi and over there they go and eat McDonald's का burger. Can you see people going from here to a different place and over there they are eating McDonald's, Pizza Hut? All over the India you are going to have a same taste of a McDonald's burger, KFC, Pizza Hut and Domino's. So with this the globalization is trying to create a kind of a homogeneous society, isn't it? We all are diversified. The people of the Delhi are different from Hyderabad and the people of Karnataka are different from the people of West Bengal, but these urban centers are pretty much the same. The language that we speak in urban centers is sort of like a English, like what I am speaking. I speak in English, sometimes I speak in Hindi. Have you listened to those Bollywood interviews? Have you seen those Bollywood interviews? समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. They don't even speak complete English, they don't even speak complete Hindi. So they mix something like a English. So in the form of languages, we are losing our essence. In the form of culture, we are losing it. In the form of food taste, vada pav has become a burger now. Have you seen that? We are not wearing kurta pajamas. We are wearing kurta and jeans and kurti and jeans. Have you seen that? So this is sort of an impact of globalization on the Indian society. So we're going to cover up in that aspect what all different ways in the form of languages, region, religion, they are losing their originality and we are becoming like Western societies. At what level and what negative consequences it is going to have on our society, we'll talk about that. So that comes the third part. The fourth part is something like a national problems, what we are having up. The social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism. We speak about secularism. Constitution empowers the word secularism, but when it comes to application, there are different notions. How the word Indian secularism is different from the Western secularism. So we are going to talk about in that particular aspect. Regionalism, India has got a very big problem of regionalism. Pakistan तो करता है वहाँ पर उंगली कश्मीर का, that's a whole regional different conflict that you have got. Punjab has got one Khalistan issue, that's again a regionalism. Northeast of India, Nagaland, Bodoland, all those issues are there. In the case of South India versus North India, that's again a regionalism. Language further creates that problem. So regionalism is like a one national problem that we have. So is regionalism good? Is it going to, because some sort of regionalism is also going to strengthen the democracy as well, but up till what extent? After what regionalism creates a problem of separatist tendencies. So over here the regionalism also means trying to create Telangana formation was nothing but a sort of a regionalism, but after at what level this will lead to a further break in the society. We'll be talking about that. Communalism, how religion is breaking the society. So what exactly is the difference between communalism and fundamentalism? These are the aspects. Both of them are associated with religion, but one is a political aspect. We'll talk about that. Social empowerment, how can we use the different schemes, policies and different target approaches, community development approaches. What are the different sorts of initiatives that has been taken up by the government? So we're going to talk about in aspect to current affairs. What are the recent schemes and what exactly the implication it is having on the Indian society. So this is the syllabus that you have. Every year, almost 4 to 5 questions directly come from the Indian society. So 12 and a half into 4, कितना होता है? 12 and a half into 4? 48 नहीं होता है यार. 12 and a half into 4 कहाँ से होता है? तो 50 होता है, तो इसको तो सी सेट भी करना ज़रूरी है, ठीक है. सो वी गेट टू सी दैट 50 to 60 marks every year is being asked. Make sure that you understand the aspect, or before that you understand what significance it is to understand the Indian society. So go ahead. So that's the aerial view. So that's you being either Kalpana Chawla or Rakesh Sharma, where you understand the Indian society. ठीक है. बस मुझे 2 ही एस्ट्रोनॉट्स याद थे और उससे ज़्यादा कोई पता नहीं मुझे, ठीक है. और इफ़ यू वांट टू बी मोर कूल, वो कौन है? हु वाज द बिलियनर हु ट्रैवल्ड टू स्पेस रिसेंटली? हाँ, एलॉन मस्क गया है. एलॉन मस्क गया है, जेफ बेजोस गया है, वो वर्जीनिया का क्या है उसका नाम? रिचर्ड ब्रांसन. हाँ, वो भी गया. मतलब वो तो बस ऊपर से जा रहा है. मतलब थोड़ा सा एरियल. पीपल आर टेलिंग दैट ही डिड नॉट इवन गो टू स्पेस. He just lost gravity and he came back. So anyways, so you taking an aerial view where you try to understand the Indian society could be understood in these 3 segments that you have got. The rural areas and what are the salient features of the rural areas. What are the salient features of the urban areas. Salient features of tribal areas. What problems are there and what are the issues that we have. So understand what it is, what problems are there and how do you redress those problems. So this is the whole portion that you have regarding the Indian society. So let us just look at the important questions that we have, because what I believe is before you go and study any particular subject or any particular area, make sure that you read the questions that are being given up. So some of them will be still be questioning, sir, I don't know which optional should I be taking, or how should I be studying, should I prepare for this exam or not. First of all, you open the question paper, get an idea what exactly the examiner is looking for. Now you have got no idea, I assume you have got no idea regarding Indian society. You just try to read the question and see whether are you able to understand what exactly it is being asked. Now look at the question that was asked in last 2 years. Has caste lost its relevance in Indian society? Understanding the multicultural Indian society, elaborate your answer. That's one. Don't think, just read about it. Okay? Diversity and pluralism in India under the threat due to globalization. Okay? Empowering women is the key to control the population growth. Caste system is assuming new identities and associational forms, hence the caste system cannot be eradicated in India. Okay? These are the 4 questions. Read them once again and see, are you able, first of all, are you able to understand that question? Second, after understanding, is there something that is coming up within your mind? Matlab, some points, at least 2 points, am I able to correlate? First of all, am I able to understand? Second, are there any points that you're trying to catch it down? And then see what is a depth that is need to be required. If you're able to grab 3 to 4 points, trust me, that's fine. You can, with 3 to 4 points, you can create 3 to 4 paragraphs that will create a sufficient answer for you to get at least 60% marks. That's the maximum what you can get. Let me read the 4th question. Caste system, okay. Empowering women is the key to control population growth, discuss. The word is telling that if we empower women, that is the most important thing to control the population. Discuss. What will you write? Or even what are you thinking in this? Do you understand the question? That if we enlighten the women, if we make the women more educated, that is the most important factor to control the population. Tail word is discuss. What can you write? Can you discuss this question so that at least I have an idea that what is happening in your mind? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry? Kerala is a good example. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Somebody here? Okay, by empowering women, it is going to help the women to take their own decisions. ठीक है. Anything else? How empowering women is the key to control population growth. What would you write in this particular question? What you can write? Okay, one aspect is if you empower women, it will take them to help good decisions. One is speaking about what are the different impacts in the case of education, health, etc. Anything else? We'll get to know the. Okay. Anything else? Health issue. Okay. Now the word end word is saying the word discuss. How will it create the answer? Oh, if I write the word comment over here, or if I write the word instead of discuss, I write the word elucidate. There is a different meanings and interpretation that we are having. Now the word is saying discuss over here. That was given in the exam. What you're going to write? Excellent. Good. See, the question is in the form of a statement. Have you seen this? There is a connotation that is coming up. There is a form of a statement that has been given up. Now, whenever the word discuss comes, for example, you are discussing something with your friend. Okay, which particular actor is good or which particular movie is good, something about like a fashion, what you're talking about. Whenever the word discuss comes and you're talking to your friend, there are 2 different opinions that comes and clashes. Or is it you're having only a friend who nods at you, whatever you say? Do you have a friend like that who always nods at whatever you say, or there might be some conflict that you can? So basically communication comes when there is a certain amount of conflict. Now over here, when the word discuss comes, first of all, I'm not talking about the introduction and the conclusion. The main content of the answer is based upon empowering women is the key to control population growth, and you are going to say, yes, I agree. When the women are educated, they are able to take the help, they are able to take the decisions. When women are given good health infrastructure, the population would be that deliveries are coming up in the hospitals, so there are less amount of infant mortality rate is going to come down. Maternal education will certainly cream the child gap that needs to be there. If you see within the case of rural centers, what is the child gap that you get to see? Have you seen those child gaps of 10 months, 11 months? Have you seen 1, 2, 3 kids, child gap of only one year? Why? Because the woman is less educated. She is not able to take up a decision. So one aspect is going to speak about, yes, certainly women education is the key to control the population growth. The second aspect of the discussion is telling that that is not only the primary factor. What are the other factors that we need to consider apart from the women empowerment or women education? What are the other things that we must focus upon? Yes, exactly. We are having a patriarchal mindset, the male dominated society. So, yes, men are the one who are the ultimate decision makers. So, rather than one gender taking the whole decision, the family should take up a decision. So, patriarchy has to go away. The traditional mindset, the religion is more dominant, because whenever we talk about the religion will say the children should not stop. The child is the gift from the God. Okay, so that's all. So because there is a traditional mindset which is being there, so you will have to go with a secular mindset. Patriarchy should get abolished. Egalitarian society must be created. A society of uniformity, homogeneous. Nobody is above, nobody is behind. Everybody is equal. A society of equality. What else? The government policies should reach out to the people. The infrastructure whichever is being created, hospital must be created, awareness should be brought. So one aspect you're telling women is the most important aspect of controlling the population. Second aspect you're all talking about where women is not the important. The role of the government is important. The role of the man of the family is important. The tradition has to go away. That is important. Westernization of the society is also important. So in this aspect, you need to balance your answer. An administrator can never be a biased person. An administrator has always needs to be speaking in a balanced form where he is keeping both the opinions. Have you heard that every story has two sides, like every coin has two sides, isn't it? Whenever, so both the aspects are always present. You need to discuss both the aspects, and that is when your examiner will get an idea that okay, this particular person knows both the aspect. He is in a state of mind where he can take a wise decision. If you're only telling the one aspect, examiner is not your mummy daddy. Okay? Mummy daddy will think that my child knows everything. Okay? Everybody, have you been a topper in LKG, UKG, isn't it? Everybody was a topper, right? In LKG, UKG, everybody got star and everything. So, but that is not the case over here. For mummies and daddies, they will understand what you have in your heart, what you have in your mind, but the examiner will only understand what you have written on the paper. So on the paper, you will have to keep both the opinions. That is more. And the most important aspect for the complete UPSC is that answer writing. You need to do answer writing practice on a daily basis, because that is only the time when you will be able to connect with the examiner. Or in short, I can say your UPSC preparation begins seriously when you start answer writing. If you are studying 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, but if you are not writing an answer on a piece of paper, trust me, you are not serious about the exam. You cannot be a ranker without having the skill, or you might already have that skill from your school days. You will have to decide by yourself whether you're good at answer writing, yes or no. If you're not good at, practice. It is an art, it is a skill. It comes with practice. There's nothing like a born talent or a natural talent, or you are a bachpan se you are a writer, something like that. No, it is a skill that you need to acquire with practice. Lots of practice needs to be done. So make sure that you are reading as well as you are writing, because with writing only you will be able to evaluate how effectively you have understood. Clarity in your answer is only going to come when you have a mental clarity. When you have a mental clarity, you will have a mind map, what needs to be written. For this particular third, empowering women is the key to control growth. You need to have a clarity within your mind. First of all, there will be an introduction where I will be speaking either about women or either I will be speaking about population. Some fact, some number needs to be given. Okay? Anything can be in the form of an introduction related to the question. Second, I am going to emphasize that the role of the women is the most important factor in controlling the population. The second part of my content, where women is not the only main part, but there are many other aspects I'm going to talk about. Third, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. So this should be your mental clarity before you write an answer. That will only come when you have a proper structure. Your structure will only come when you have a proper knowledge. So first of all, by reading, you are going to acquire the knowledge. By writing, you are able to create a structure of the answer. With practice, you will decide what words should be used. How is it different? What is the most appropriate word that I can use? You are going to have different number of words in your mind. What thing I should incorporate over here? Which thing I should underline? Don't underline each and everything that you have in the answer. So you will have to read the newspaper on a daily basis. So how many of you read newspaper every day? Good. That's a very good habit. Rest, what are you doing? करंट अफेयर्स चल रहा है बस, मतलब वीकली करंट अफेयर्स यूट्यूब पे देख लिया है, यहाँ देख लिया, बस वही चल रहा है, मस्त एंजॉय कर रहे हो, ठीक है. You need to read newspaper. Whenever you're looking at the current affairs magazine, it is going to give a certain amount of explanation which was not there in the newspaper, or something, an additional material. But the basic amount of understanding only comes with reading the editorials that we have. So make sure that you have a habit of reading the newspaper every day, because the words which have been used in the Hindu paper are quite selective. They are quite qualitative. It is certainly going to help you in your answer writing. Hindu paper needs to be written. Answer paper needs to be done on a daily basis. So these are the kind of questions. Shall we go with the one more question, or should we go with the Indian society? Do you want to understand? Caste system is assuming new identities and associational forms. Hence the caste system cannot be eradicated in India. Caste system is one of the most important topics that we have in Indian society, and it is going to be the first topic that we are going to talk about. So before we start about the caste system, we have to be a little bit open that, okay, this is a religion based classification that we have in the Indian society. It has been since thousands of years. It is a part of the society. It is not just a part of religion, it is a part of even other elements as well. We'll talk about what it is. The question is telling that caste system is assuming new identities and associational forms. Caste system is getting new forms. It is getting new identities. Hence, the caste system cannot be eradicated from India. This is what the question says. Now, it's a comment based question what we are having up. So what will you speak about? Again, you are an administrator. You are going to speak about caste system. Yes. What are you going to speak about caste system? This says caste system is taking new identities. What is the actual identity of caste system? It is a policy of where the people are being divided based upon the religion that we have got. Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Dalit. That's a classification what we are having of the caste system. Okay? It's a religious based classification. The question says it is taking new identities. It is taking new associational forms. So what do you mean by that word? Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you say a little louder? Okay, atrocities. It is taking, no, it's not talking about atrocities. It's not talking about what problems are there. Please repeat your point.
Associations means like forming a group and establishing a list of something and discussing.
Okay. Good. Can you give me an example of that?
Like in this case, there are based on caste, there are some halls.
I got that. Association or something like a halls based upon the caste. Can you give me an example of that? वो I regret watching that movie पद्मावत. ठीक है, इतना हाइप मिला है उसको. वो क्यों, क्या बोला पद्मावत के अंदर, वो करनी सेना is an example of a caste based association what they have created. The one who will get Sanjay Leela Bhansali, उसको 5 crore मिलेंगे. The one who will get a hand of Deepika Padukone, 1 crore देंगे. Have you seen those kind of news that was there as a nuisance that was being created? Now something regarding one particular movie has been created, and one mythological character is related to the caste. The whole caste has created one associational forms, and they are creating up like a threat. So the thing is that caste is there, but they are taking a shape as an organization in the form of an association that we have got. Like Marathas, they have got their own associations. So like Agrawals, they have got their own associations. Now, in the modern societies, such associations, such formations are present. But before that, that's going to come a little bit after. Where do you think that caste system is taken a new shape and it is present. One of the good examples that we have is the Indian political system that we have got. Now, within the case of electoral system, we have got complete caste system in the form of Indian politics, especially in the case of UP, in the case of Bihar that we have got. There is a framing that don't vote your caste but cast your vote. Have you seen that? Before, we are supposed to cast our vote, but people vote their caste, isn't it? So they only prefer one particular caste to go and vote. Why? Because in the Indian political system, the caste system has been infiltrated. So Indian political system is something which is belonging to the political family, isn't it? Something like politics that we have got. Within the case of democracy, the caste system has been brought. It was something that was related to the religion. Agree? Caste system is something which is related to religion. We brought it into the political system. That's a new form where caste system has been brought. Caste system is belonging to religion. It has been brought into the case of education and occupation. Reservation, what we have got. In the case of modern India, caste system is there from 5,000 years. But after the independence, we infiltrated caste into education, into occupation that we have got. Caste system has been brought in the Indian political system. Association forms have been created. Many food industries have been created based upon the caste that we get to see. So in this way, the caste system is taking new identities. Yes. Hence, it cannot be eradicated in India. What is going to be the part of your answer? Are you going to end the answer over there, right there and then? Good. Okay, got the point. Anybody else? Anybody else? Are you going to end the answer there in itself by telling, yes, caste system was there in religion, it came into education, it came into the political system, it got into occupation, many associations from forms are being created? Khatam. Caste system cannot be eradicated from India. Is that going to be the end of your answer? What is going to be? Why that cannot be an end to your answer? Why that cannot be an end to your answer? It seems a little bit of a pessimistic. It seems something like a negative. As an administrator, you have to be optimistic. You have to show down a hope. You have to show down how equality could be created, because your morals, your principle, your values are borrowed from the Constitution, and Constitution says that we are supposed to create equality. On the other way around, we cannot say that caste system is going to be there in India forever. We want to create equality. Even if the caste system is there, in the end, people are supposed to be equal. This is what. So what other points you're going to say? How caste system is going to create equality? One, which is the most important factor to eradicate caste system in India? Or the right word, which is the most important factor to eradicate caste-based atrocities or caste-based differences in India? Education of people, not reservation of the caste. We are talking about, that's a problem over here. We're talking about the education of the people is more important. So that's one. Education is there. Equal in the form of opportunities that we have got. We want development, more amount of urbanization. Do you think more urban centers will come up? Urban centers are more secular centers that we have. As compared to the rural backgrounds, people leave their caste and then they come to the urban centers. People leave the traditional mindsets and they come over here. The people who are wearing traditional dresses, dhoti, kurta, over there in the rural centers, but when they come over here, they try to prefer having more of a Western outfit is in the need. So we see that certain criteria are there, certain elements are there which dilute the caste system as well. So one aspect, you're going to talk about how caste system is taking new shapes. On the other aspect, you're taking how the caste system is going to get diluted as well. How is it going to get diluted? With large amount of secular education, secularism in the mindset, urbanization, westernization. Are you understanding this concept? Urbanization. Urbanization simply means more urban centers are getting established. So when more number of urban centers will get established, the rural centers are going to come down. When the rural centers are going to come down, the tradition is going to go away. So in this way, westernization means more like a Western concept. Western concept is more about equality. what we are having up. We are going to have more amount of democracy. People are going to believe in the constitution. So the answer is going to come up in two parts. Let me tell you the structure of that answer. Read the question. Caste system is assuming new identities and associational forms. Hence, the caste system cannot be eradicated in India. First of all, you're going to agree? Yes, the caste system is taking new shapes and new forms. What are they? In the form of political system, educational system, reservation, associational forms. Give the example that you can speak about. Agrawals, Mahasabhas, Jains. These are the examples that you're going to use. Next, you're going to talk about no, but the caste system is also being diluted. It can be eradicated from India if we go towards westernization, education, equality is being created. With that equality, we are going to see that yes, caste system can be removed. Even though if it is not removed, it can create equality within the case of Indian society. So your answer is going to be in these different types. Our diversity and pluralism is India under threat to globalization. So read a particular questions and then try to understand. Are you able to correct at least 2 points? What are the 2 points that you need to look into? So which important book you're going to read for? Yes? ठीक है. और कौन सी इंपॉर्टेंट बुक है? अच्छा लग रहा है, बारिश हो रही है, अच्छा लग रहा है ना. बहुत दिन से 2-3 दिन गर्मी हो रही थी, बारिश हो रही है तो एकदम ज़रा ठंडा ठंडा लगता है. घर जाते जाते पकोड़े खाएंगे. हाँ. Yes. See, when the rain voice is coming, even that police siren is also looking musical, isn't it? So, yeah. क्या चाय चाहिए? हाँ, चाय तो नहीं मिलेगी यहाँ पर. तो yes, which important book do we have for Indian society? NCERT, Indian society, that one. Yes. Any other book? NCERT, Indian society. It's a 12th class book. What we are having up, Indian society. Anything else? There's a book written by Ram Ahuja. You can read this book. Don't completely read it. Try to do some selective readings. I'll be telling from which topics to be read. Ram Ahuja, 2 important books are being there. One is the Indian social system. And then one book what we have is the social problems of India. So these are the 2 important books that you are reading from Ram Ahuja. I wouldn't suggest any other important author to be read. So Indian social system, in which there will be an explanation of what are the salient features of India, how do we have got the diversity, etc. Those are the important points that we get to write. And then we are having social problems in India. Can you tell me some of the social problems that we have in India? Yes? What are the social problems of India? Infrastructure is missing. Infrastructure मतलब इतना अच्छा तो infrastructure है ना. स्कूल नहीं है, स्कूल बाजू है. Discrimination. As in? Discrimination as in? Caste based or gender based discrimination that we have, or rich based. Okay, fine. One is discrimination based upon economy, based upon religion, languages, etc. Any other problem that you see that India is surviving with? There are lots of problems in India. Just keep on telling. Some problem will come. What cause problem है? COVID-19. No, global problem हो गया. Indian problem. But India में बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है wave 2. Anyways, मास्क लगा लो. उससे problem बढ़ रहा है. I am free of mask. Yes, what are the problems? Sanitation, that's one. Sanitation drive, the washrooms banana hai. Other issues regarding sanitations. What else? Disability? Okay, the person who are physically challenged, mentally challenged, they are having lack of access to many of the resources and institutions. What else? Anybody? Yeah. Urban rural divide, that's also one of the big problems that we are having up. Okay? Yes, divisions that we have, especially even in the cities we have got divisions. Then metropolitans versus cities, cities versus cities, cities versus rural centers. So yes, geographical based differences and inequalities what we have. Anything else, ma'am? Any other problem that you have in India? No problem. India like manchiga, full manchiga. Okay, I don't know Telugu. So bear with that. Yes, full India manchiga. Yes, ma'am. Bagunna. Yes. One minute. Digital divide is also one of the rising inequalities that we have. ठीक है? अब तो thanks to अंबानी अंकल वो जियो लगा दिया है, बात है जरा गांव नेट पहुंच गया है, और else it would have been a much of a problem, isn't it? देखो जियो यूजर यहाँ पर भी है, ठीक है? Yes. Okay, literacy, education के अंदर they have a problem. The literacy, many of them are literate, but still mindset is illiterate. Even that's also a problem because of the quality of education is messing up. Yes, ma'am. What was the problem? Okay, so people are being discriminated because of their racial features. That's also one of the differences what we are having. What else? अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट सी लिटरेसी के बाद पढ़ भी लिया तो फिर प्रॉब्लम है अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का, ये भी बहुत बड़ा मसला है. द ओनली रीजन वाई आई एम इनटू यूपीएससी इज लाइक प्रॉपर जॉब सिक्योरिटी चाहिए, इजंट इट? एवरीबडी वांट्स अ जॉब सिक्योरिटी. सो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं पढ़ा है, इलिटरेसी पढ़ रहा है, लिटरेसी, देन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, जॉब मिल गई फिर अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट, ये भी है क्या? पीएचडी किया है लेकिन हवालदार का नौकरी चल रहा है. So basically that's why even in the case of Tamil Nadu, for a post in the parliament, a sweeper jobs, almost 30 to 40 PhDs and thousands of people have applied, like for a sweeper's job in Tamil Nadu. Why? Because they are being paid 27 to 30,000. So you can imagine what level of underemployment we are suffering up with. So what else? Any other problem? Yes. What are the other problems that we have got? Mask पहन के फिरना है everywhere we have to put up a mask. Is that a problem? Yes. Huh? Chronic poverty, long-term poverty. Poverty breeds poverty. One of the important sayings by Thomas Beer. Poverty will always push you into more poverty. And even in the case of rising population, poverty is an important factor. Do you think poverty breeds overpopulation or overpopulation breeds poverty? Whatever I might have said, you would have said the same answer. Both are interrelated. Right? How do you think? Okay, I understand. With higher amount of population, poverty is there because but how do you think overpopulation leads to poverty? The other way around. How poverty leads to overpopulation? Why would somebody are going to have more kids if they are already poor? See, in the case of cities, especially what we see, that you are going to be an economic resource for your family or your parents at the age of 25 and 30, isn't it? Once you become a graduate, then you're going to get a job and then you are going to finally be an economic resource, isn't it? But for somebody who is coming from a rural background, a person becomes an economic resource at the age of 5 and 6 itself. Either they can help in the agricultural fields, either they can help in the case of animal husbandry or whatever. So basically, when a family or a society is poor, they want more number of children because they are going to take care of that child only till the age of 4 and 5 years. After that, he might be getting 50 rupees, 70 rupees per day. So eventually, overpopulation leads to more poverty. Poverty also leads to more population because at the very early age, they are going to become an economic resource. I am having 3 kids. With 3 kids, I am getting 300 rupees. If I'm having 5 kids, I'm going to get 500 rupees on a daily basis. So that's a mindset that a poor man is going to have. So yes, overpopulation is also a problem. Poverty is also a problem. Religion is also one of the biggest problems that India is facing right now. What else? Disguise, we have spoken, unemployment, that's also one. Disguise unemployment, different types of unemployment, we'll talk about it later. What else? Extremism, fundamentalism, terrorism, funding, yes. Naxalism, even that's also one of the problems that we are having, especially in few red corridors that has been there. Naxal breaches, especially in the case of tribal areas, we have got the problems of Naxalism. Most important issues that we are facing, especially in rural and in the case of cities, is women's security, violence against women. which has been at every age, every segment, women has been oriented or exposed to a different set of problems. So over here in the book of Ram Ahuja, Social Problems of India, we have got list of different problems which are being discussed in a statistical manner, and at the same times we are going to understand what are the characteristics and look up for different solutions to get rid of those problems. So that's the book. Indian Social System is speaking about the diversity and the salient features of India. Social problems are being discussed in another book. So these are the two important books that you can purchase and read. You can do it later on as well. So we'll be going in a slow and a gradual process, in a gradual manner, so that you get an idea.
This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.